Hey guys, this is a ranked match, a pre-recorded match. We're playing against Criterion on Marshland. He's playing as Abbasid Dynasty. And since he's going Abbasid, he's almost always they're going fast 2TC. So we're gonna do our 9-2 opening to get fast feudal age, and we're gonna look to do our trade horse build, which is Russian Keshik, and then following it up with a Eco Boom. So we're looking to scale with our eco while we are able to deny our opponent his TC timing. So our opponent is going Abbasid. Abbasid is a very strong civ. It is a very strong civ. They have so much flexibility. I've only played them a couple. Well, I've done the Masters and I've played them more than a couple times. But for example, just on team games, sometimes I'll play Abbasid, and it's impressive how much once you get the fresh food stuffs, how you can basically just keep on cranking villagers and double production or produce some archers from like two three archery ranges, and just not even blink about it. It's really impressive what they can do with their eco early on. So we pulled we'll switch this. There you go. 7 on the food, and then we had 1 on gold, went 2 on the gold. Now we're gonna go up to 9 on gold. If we go to our vision real quick, we've looped around this side of the map. We picked up a couple more sheep. Now we're gonna loop around the other side over here now. How do I switch player vision settings? Camera? Game controls. View and remap controls. Observer. View next player control plus this. Can't change this. View next player. Control F. So let's just do Q. And toggle for war F. And switch player. Let's do S. That makes life a little bit easier. View next player S. F. Okay. Sorry about that. F and S. Close. Zoom. So there you go. Cool. Looks like we're learning how to cast a little bit. He has a great sheep haul. I thought we had a really good sheep haul, but he also had a really good sheep haul. And we find out later on that he had a really good sheep haul. But it's pretty much just around your base on marshlands where you're gonna get up a lot of sheep. Over on our side over here, we haven't picked up as many, but we did pick up a good amount over here. We had like 4 initial sheep, then we picked up 3 more, so we're like at 7 sheep, and this is like 9. And yeah, he's scouting over here, so he's about to hit where we have scouted already, and there's no sheep left over there. Our build order is going to plan. We get a really good age up start at like 232. Maybe a little bit far on the walking for the deer stones, but it's nice, really good aura here with our deer stones. We do see a sheep straggling around here. We went 9 on the food, 2 on the gold, 4 on the landmark. We're going to go up to 3 on wood, and we're going to split this 2 villagers on the gold, 1 villager on the food, and this 3rd villager on the wood. So it's him. He's checking out the back of our base, luckily for us. He's also transitioning onto berries. He's got villagers on gold. Who's aging up? We spot this. I'm kind of contemplating where his TC is at and where to drop my falcon to get good vision here. So we decide just right here, and we are able to spot his stone outcropping. And we are also able to see his villager heading over to stone. So we know this is definitely a 2TC build, 100%. There you go. He spotted our base just barely. Let's go over here back to our build order. We're dropping our stable up. We're going to a 3rd villager on gold. So it's technically a 6-3-3 split. Just one of our wood villagers pulled off to build the stable. And now we're rallying villagers on the food. We do a little bit of a mistake here. We queued our Khan here, but we didn't queue him to drop off. And in doing other things, which there really wasn't anything to do here, we totally forgot to drop our sheep off. So we do have to bring him back and drop it off, because that is actually really important, that sheep there. So we have our stable, and we have double production at Keshik starting at like 416, 417, I believe. Yeah, I think it's 417, so that's a really good time. Actually, we can pause real quick. What's this say? 20 seconds? 30 seconds, so 10 seconds? Yeah, so 416 start time on our Keshik. So when you get really good build order, really clean build order, we bring a cup, you can get some really impressive, you can get some really good timings, and it's really important for being able to stop these builds that our opponents do, because they're no joke. You can see he's already up to 150 wood, and he can be up to a double TC very quickly with a clean build order. We are getting our wheelbarrow upgrade now. I was just curious. I wanted to see when he sees us. Looking over, our first couple of Keshiks are coming across the map. He's at 210 stone, so he's almost ready to build. He spots our TC. Good on him, staying alive. And we're going to start spotting him here. We're going to go to his vision real quick. I just want to see when he notices. If he just, because I see him drop a barrack, and I don't know if it's a knee-jerk reaction, or if it's just, yeah, he spots a gun. So this is just this isn't a reaction to my stables. This is just him playing and deciding to drop it. I don't think, yeah, no, he can't. He doesn't see our stables. He hasn't seen our stables. So this is 100% just him just building this preemptively. Yeah, we're over here at 5:30, and we're raiding. And this is with a 416 time, so you can see how hard it is to deny these TCs. But we are Keshik, so we are going to focus here on getting villager kills. We have gotten 2 villagers already. So even though he's going to get this TC up, he's going to lose 3 vills in the process. And he doesn't really seem to care. He's more interested in getting his TC up. And he's actually going for a 3rd TC now. You can see him going for stones once we kill villagers. He's going to go for a 3rd TC. The scout's idle on our side of the base. Over here, our Khan is scouting around the north side of the base to see if what's happening up there. If anything, if he's gone into different berries. I didn't realize he had so many sheep here, and that keeps him really in a good spot here. Again, we got a good amount of Keshiks. We ran over the Saber first Keshik, even though he's hurt. I should kill this Keshik and damage this these deer. And so now he spots our thing. He spots deer stone. Our rotation on our market is super late. It's happening now, so he misses it. That's 1+ of just wheeling your market over. So he sees the stable, he sees the deer stone, and he's not expecting trade. He's expecting an all-in play because we've attacked him already. And we're just roaming around here. One really good thing he does here is all of his eco buildings are inside of his TC range. There's absolutely nothing I could raid here without taking shots. But he does one really bad thing is he doesn't realize the raid comes in until way late because we don't aggro here with our Khan. So that's 1+ of running around with a scout too. Instead of a Khan, they don't automatically shoot and aggro everything. We have pulled 9 villagers onto deer. Even though we have more sheep, we just want to pull around the 7-minute mark. It's a good timing. We don't get our survival techniques. It's a little bit of a mistake there. We do want to get our survival techniques. We are rotating here, and we haven't seen this this 3rd TC, but we see it now. Oh no, I did see it with his Khan, I guess, earlier. So we see it tapping up. We see him, he's got a bunch of vills here. He's going to have to peel off. Again, we're going to get a couple kills here. This is really big. Most players at this point in time will just GG out. If this happened on a pro level, I think they would kind of realize this might be a GG out situation. But he is going for triple TC. He is going to be able to defend this. We've dropped our Falcon here, and we have really good vision of when he wants to rotate these drills over. He got no vision on the map. You can see his vision right now. It's just basically this right here. He's got a little bit of range on us, a little bit of a mistake on our part, letting ourselves take this damage. We should be microed out of there. But again, not a little mistake, a big mistake, because we lose a Keshik. Yeah, there we go. So we lose a Keshik and almost like a quarter of the life of another one. So big mistake, and you can see here, I drop with my scout, so vision. Unfortunately, he does die. We're gonna take out this this guy. One big mistake is that we rallied these guys down here to the front for any food collection, and we hadn't realized that he was on sheep properly. So a little bit of a mistake on our part. You can see how much a Keshik has to commit to get a kill here. So a little bit of a mistake also here, overcommitting there. But behind this, we are starting to trade. We do have 2 traders up and going, so we're a little bit late on our wood. We're suffering a little bit on gold here. I think I need to send another villager on to gold. It's a little bit of a mistake on my part, not doing that. Over here again, he has no vision. Yeah. Let's go to. I want to see all free camera or like all vision, God mode vision. But he's lost 16 villagers at this point, which is massive. If you look at his will count, like how much 16 villagers changes prior to him being 4 villagers up. And this is with massive villager kills, massive TC delay, and you can see it's a really strong build. This triple TC if you don't deny it or don't do something to harass it, because he can have a ridiculous amount of vills out very quickly. We do decide to pivot Vil forward and start setting up some vision around his base. We don't want him to get sneaky resources behind us, so we're going to do this. One thing I did a bad job doing with my Keshiks is killing these deer with him to get some extra resource or health with them. We are finishing up this one deer patch. This wolf is really annoying. I'm going to send a villager over to deal with it eventually. And we have a pretty good split right now in terms of wood and stuff. We do try to catch the scout. He's kind of going out on the map. He's trying to catch up on villager count. He's lost a ton of villagers at this point, though. At this point, I felt like I was safe. I felt like I was in a winning position and like a really safe position to win. Like I basically have to make a really big mistake to win here or to lose at this point. So we are getting a horseman upgrade. It's not really necessary, but we're not going for a fast castle right now. A fast castle, possibly, yeah, we can push in and with the upgrade and kill him really quick. But we don't want him to push out and establish too much map control. We want him to rotate onto farms. We want him to have to fight for any resources. We want him to farm transition as soon as possible. And one thing we kind of do a bad job doing here is maintaining enough pressure on this northern side more than anything. I want to go back and as good as we are, let's reveal map all. Let's go caster mode again. As good as we are, we're still casting. We still don't know how to turn off to select play vision to view the whole map. We are getting our upgrade here for our outpost. We're getting this upgrade. One thing that we have as well in our favor is we're starting to get our blacksmith upgrades. We're a little bit late here, in fact, getting our blacksmith upgrades, but we're getting them. We do a little bit of raiding here. He just puts his bills up. And he's got this first expeditionary tower, which is going to help get him a bunch of vision, which is going to be a really big deal, actually. And he pulls his massive spearmen here to burn down this tower. Without garrisoning this tower, these spearmen 100% will achieve doing this. But we have Keshiks nearby, and we're going to be able to deny this with the Keshiks here. So it's a really good trade, being able to kill those guys for basically nothing. And we still have him basically hemmed into his base here. We do lose our Keshiks, but the tower's going to hold here. And yeah, we're sitting in a good spot. When him engaging here is really big. But you can see one thing here is that the eco count has stabilized now at 13 minutes. So this is really the strength of Abbasid. They get cheaper villagers at 32 food, and they can just start cranking them out with triple TCs. And it's really hard to deny, as you see. Like I was fully committed to this, and I had a really hard time denying that. Right now, I was kind of debating what to do with my cab and stuff. I have vision down here. I didn't want to lose this forward tower. That's why I have my army over here. But I really should have rotated to the north. I should have shut down because I've got berries here. I've got there was swordfish over here too. I think they built on the swordfish on accident. So if we hit him here, he has to farm transition now. If we deny him here, on top of killing 9 villagers, which would be really, really big. So a little bit of a mistake on our part not doing that. and we're just getting all of our upgrades. We're in a really strong spot militarily, so I'm not too worried about this. We've got 5 manganite, so we can deal with his spears. We've done our archer transition at this point, and anything he tries to do here is going to have a hard time. We're starting to build towers up over here on this wood line to eventually be able to deny it. And again, no real need of to be here contesting here with everything. Like all these Keshiks, if they had gone north, or like half of the army had gone north, we'd be in a lot better spot in terms of keeping our opponent under wraps. So a little bit unfortunate. We do have this outpost here shooting, but he does have secure gold, and he already mined all that stone. So a little bit greedy going for that stone. I wonder if going quadruple GC, since you've gone 3 TC and you've lost 17 villas at this point, I wonder if quadruple TC would have actually been the smart play, since he does have all this extra gold or stone. I'm not entirely sure why he mined all this stone. Maybe just for space. But I feel like if you mine all that stone, you might as well just drop another TC. And with the upgrades, yeah, he can drop 2 more TCs out of that, which is absolutely nuts. So we run into these villas over here. We finally go north and we see that he's done this. So we're going to get some kills here, which is nice. We're able to kill a bunch of villagers. We're up to 23 villager kills, so that's an additional 6 villagers. Keshiks are going to burn down this outpost. His army's coming, it's on the way, but it's really slow, and that's the one big plus of using cav and hitting different sides of his base. They're trying to establish this over here. And he's going to lose this tower, he's going to lose 4 more villas, and he's not going to be able to really stay here and contest with these villagers. But he is going up to castle now with a military wing. Behind this, we're starting to float a ton of gold because we're up to 17 traders, and we know with this that he probably isn't past us anywhere, so we've got him in a pretty good spot here. One big mistake I do is not dropping more towers up here on the north, or just getting more vision up there in general. Earlier on, this army too, we probably could have been pestering here. You can see that we're just out of range on this woodline right here, and we're out of range of this woodline here. So yeah, this has been a 100% shut downable woodline, which would have been really big for this army. So we're just running our troops around this side here, but really what we needed to do was attack through the middle up front here. So again, a little bit of mistake. Unfortunately, we start going to build this tower, and he sends his spearmen out, and he picks a really good timing because we're taking these guys to finish scouting the map over here, because we haven't actually oh, it's F to turn off vision, my bad. Okay, yeah, so we hadn't actually finished scouting this, so that's why we went to finish scouting over there. Which was actually really costly because it lost us this position, this vision here, and I kind of commit to hitting this. We did age up at this process, we traded out food, we get our upgrades immediately, we're getting a veteran Keshiks. Veteran manga that takes a much longer time, which is kind of unfortunate. But we're going to do our best here denying this. And our eco is a little bit lopsided, and we're rallying onto food now because we're really wood heavy, but we're starving on food right now. Also, something that I could have done, because he's castled, and even though we've got him pretty pinned in his base, he's castle, he can start making knights, which he is doing, and he can start raiding us. So if I hit castle here, I should look. I drop a bunch of pastures, and as well as a prayer tent, but I probably could have dropped a couple of towers here as well. Start building a tower with 1 villager and just kind of start slowly tapping up. Going around here, he does see us, and this would have been, again, it's a good position to deny our enemy. But you can see the power here of his eco. He's keeping on par with us, or he's caught up to us, even though we've killed 28 villagers. So another thing is we're still making traders, but it's not exactly super consistent here. So we get a nice little raid here. We kill a couple of villagers, 3 vills, 4, 5, 6. So it's a really good raid, but we gotta fall back. We've killed 8 villagers. This chokehold is like ridiculous. We were able to flood through fairly easy with some units, and then other units to just get all derped up. So it's a little bit unfortunate. He has gone camel riders, which is a good move because we do 20% less damage. We are going to be able to negate that with our Kurokai. So if we fight on a crow type, we just have like base strength army, which is when there's a camo nearby. When there's no camo nearby, we're 20% stronger. We do have villagers building towers here just in case on the trade line. There's a scout harassing us, so we have to keep this villager garrison to deal with this. We try to raid his wood line. Well, we don't try to raid. We raid his wood line, and we do kill 12 villagers. Again, really big. You see all those villagers are down, and this helps cement our lead that we have. Army value wise, you can see he's got his army, but it's definitely not. It's like we're almost double his value. We're close to. We're not there yet, but we're close. We're gonna let our Keshiks fight this army here a little bit, but we just have to be careful because there's a lot of spearmen. So that's why we fall back. While we fall back there, we're just gonna burn some production buildings. We've already killed one production building. We'll go for another one. It's just gonna slow down the pace that we can do things. We'll move our Kurl type back. We pulled villagers up to these forward deer. Just because it's good income or for food income, but we did build a couple of siege workshops with them first because we're in castle. He can start making a lot of units. We knew that his eco count was really good because he's on triple TC, even though we've gotten some good raids in. So we have to be careful, and we have to start getting an end game push here up the middle. Perhaps I neglected this northern side a little bit too much, because he does end up being able to rotate out. We didn't end up. Like I couldn't drop, instead of dropping, I could have pulled another village to drop a tower over here, because that was the next gold. I could have dropped another tower over here. So my vision is kind of, it's okay, but it's not great. Let's switch, and then we go like this. Yeah, so you can see my vision is decent, but he's gonna start working on our towers, and we have okay vision, but we definitely could have been dropping some towers back here. I've got the villagers to do it, so definitely a little bit of a mistake on my part not doing that. TC production is constant though, so at least we got that going. Traders are still going. We're at 28, 29. But we're getting a bunch of upgrades right now for our siege. Our military, we got all of our upgrades, and he's just getting his +1 iron undermesh, which is actually a really big deal that he's just not getting it. So we start sieging with our mangonels here. We got a 4-mass siege here, and we're getting our movement upgrade. And so he's gonna go for the counterattack. 12 knights, 1 camel rider, 21. If you look at our vision here, okay, we just see him now. So we just see him, and so how do we react? Our army is still attacking, still moving. We're gonna pull a bunch of villagers and start building towers, because we have to crank out of towers real quick. So he starts. We got a lot of infrastructure here as well. It is unfortunate we do lose our blacksmith, but we've pretty much gotten all of our upgrades at this point. This is attacking here, and we do have to be careful not to lose our siege. We have more units coming, rallying here, and so we're going to keep rallying troops, but we have to pull back a bunch of guys as well. And at this point, we're able to crank out 3 towers really quickly, which is nice. 15 villagers. You can see we still have a bunch that are out and about, and he's starting to get some villager kills now at this point. And he's actually he's trying to equalize the numbers here. And you can see we're only 10 off now, even though we've killed 50 villagers. So that's, again, this is the strength of the Abbasid dynasty. It's if you do nothing early on, they can really scale very hard. Our army is here though, and we have a really small force here, but I think it's enough to help protect these mangonels. Starts bringing up some knights here. We do have some Keshiks arriving. So we have some good timing here. They're able to provide a front line, and we've wiped his whole army in this base. And at this point, it's pretty much over. We have 14 times the army value and a lot more villas. So we're just going to change the vision here again. We go back to full. He does start rotating villagers onto berries. I guess it was just recently. I thought it might have been earlier on, so I was worried that he was up there. When I eventually find out that he's up there after the game, I thought he might have been there for a longer period of time, but it looks like he actually wasn't. Military production buildings going down. Again, every bit of military production that goes down is really big. And he ended up killing 20 villagers with that raid, which is actually really good. And it's mostly because we didn't have towers, we didn't have outposts upgrade. One big thing that we neglected was our Uvus. And this is only our second Uvu of the game. So at this point we should be on like almost our third Uvu. So we missed out on a lot of gold production, or stone production. So our army is here. We just put a bunch of Keshiks. We wanted to burn down the stable really quick. We do bump in his army. We're just going to fight this. This is 100% we win. And behind this we have a ton of mangonels. We see his villagers repairing up here, so we cue the mangonels to shoot the vills. So the villagers are just gonna get absolutely murked by those mangonels. A moving our mangonels may have worked without these mangonite, but we had a constant stream basically coming. And yeah, he's lost 66 vills at this point. He did pull some villagers up here, but this was recent. At the very end there, I thought he might have been doing it longer, but it looks like he didn't. So, um, interesting match. You can see how very aggressive we were and we committed into denying and doing as much damage for the denying his second DC. And yeah, we even with all that damage, he was able to equalize with us. So that's a pretty big it's a pretty big deal. Yeah, we killed 150 and we lost about 50. So that's pretty big. Economy count, food almost the same. We did get a little bit more. We got a lot more wood, stone. This number should be a lot more. We can get by like the 10-minute mark, 800. So yeah, we're definitely way behind on our stone count because of just messing up our uvu. I gotta double check that on the uvu timing. I gotta do a better job on that and see kind of when the uvu runs out. Our gold though is a huge difference. You can see it's not even we're like 4.5 times more gold. So that's really big, really important. Age up time, we aged up at 4 minutes 10 seconds. So when you get a really nice clean build, this is really nice. You know, if you think about it, we got our Keshik started at four. I want to say 417, something like that. So pre 420. Um, if we get a 20-second later time, we don't get that damage in on that second TC, and that's pretty nutty. Yeah, if we don't get that, if we're like just a little bit later, he gets that second TC up, he's safe. He garrisons, we get no damage in. So that's why it's really important. I mean, besides you can just even tower rush them and try to hit that earlier, but when you if you get this build order and you do it very clean, and that was a backstone. If we had a forward stone, we would have hit even sooner. So, um, and maybe a thing we could have done with our con is leave him back there and just kind of do some aggro damage instead of hitting the front. But we just kind of wanted to see if he was going to pull a second TC forward onto the shorefish. So overall, a good match. Timings are just really huge, especially when you go higher up. People perform clean build orders and on those second TC builds, and if you don't punish them early, you just lose basically because if he was able to catch up and equalize us on villager count there after all of that damage, he was able to still equalize us on villager count. Um, yeah, on villager count, he's able to equalize us here, pass us. Look at that. And we're just going up with a 1TC, but you can see how we're still able to spike him down and equalize a little bit. But in economy, we're ahead because we're making traders throughout this. A little bit of sputters here and there because we messed up our trade, our production. We needed to have a 6th villager on gold. I do have to incorporate that somewhere. But yeah, that's definitely later on. I think it's after you get around like 14 villagers on wood. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe it's like 10 villagers on wood and then get onto one on the gold. Maybe you can even pull one earlier because if you mess up that gold production early on, it can really hurt for your trader count. So yeah, but you can see like if we don't do this early damage, this graph like this is another 20 villagers. He's just sitting up here. So it's really big getting those villager counts right. Yeah, so this and this. Yeah, so you get those timings wrong and they'll scale on you so quickly. So Alice is a really strong civ, but they're almost always going for the second TC. Even though they're one of the strongest tower rush and dark age feudal push civs, a lot of people don't take advantage of that, and they just go for the meta 2-3 TC build. So I think going 3 TC was greedy on his part, but it might have been the right move because he took so much damage putting up the second TC. And honestly, after he chopped that much or he mined that much stone, I can't. I wonder if one more TC was could have been a good move. So um, yeah, maybe not just timing wise because we were booming so hard too. So good game to opponent. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.